The Lord of the Black Bridge. Today's legend actually connects to my family in a distant way. On my father's side of the family, it's been passed down that the gentleman in this story was my grandmother's uncle. He was very rich and owned the lands around the bridge. When my parents were younger, they bought a house that was built on his property. At night, my mother could hear Boots walking down the hallway, and the neighbor next door would complain about seeing a tall man in black that would walk through the wall towards my parents' home. This small neighborhood had been built downways from the bridge, and people would report seeing the apparition all over that area. Without having any physical evidence and just personal experiences, it's hard to know if it's just people's imagination running wild or if something out of this dimension is trying to find something or someone they lost. At the end of the 19th century, in the city of Durango, there was a family with the last name Hernandez. They were landowners who had accumulated a big fortune as well as a big family. Their daughter named Conception, who would end up growing up with one of the servant boys as friend and almost brother, would spend most of their time together. They would later fall in love as adults. Augustin was the son of the head maid of the Hernandez house. He would spend his youth with Conception acting like kids do when they're at their age. For this, he would constantly be lectured by his mother to show respect to Conception as she was the daughter of the landowner. Time passed and they became young adults. Conception became a tall, slender girl with green eyes, olive skin, and light brown hair, while Augustin, who was now servant of the house, became tall with brown skin, brown eyes, and dark hair. He was handsome and very attractive to the young women in town. This, of course, made Conception a little jealous, but Augustin had love for only one girl, but was afraid to declare it. His mother had religiously imparted on him to show respect to the Hernandez family and their daughter, so he would respect her wishes, denying himself the girl that he desired to be with. One summer afternoon, while Augustin was in the fields working, Conception snuck up behind him and presented him with a rose. She declared her love to him and asked if he did not feel the same. The surprise of it all had left him speechless, and all that ran in his mind were his mother's words. But upon looking at the girl's face, he forgot everything he was told and poured out his heart. There they swore their eternal love to each other, and every day after they would meet in different places, always keeping their encounters a secret. One day Augustin finally had enough of the hiding and told Conception that because he was poor and she was rich, their families would never approve of their relationship. He decided to leave and swore that he would return wealthy so that they would be able to marry. He asked her to wait and swear that no matter what, she would not let their love fade away. She agreed and he departed. The next morning, Augustin was nowhere to be found, and his mother frantically looked for him. Mr. Hernandez called the police to search, but he was never found again. Augustin knew that it would be impossible to become rich unless he became some sort of highwayman. He had heard of a thief named Ignacio Parra who would rob stagecoaches and banks, so he set out to find them and join his gang. For many days he traveled in the Sierra Mountains, eating wild berries and fruits to sustain himself. Finally, after some time and much struggle, he stumbled upon Ignacio. He told the thief his predicament, and being cautious, Ignacio put him through harsh training and questionable situations. There he proved his loyalty and was allowed to join the gang. Augustin was desperate to return to Conception, so he would volunteer for the most dangerous and difficult robberies. Such was his love that he would risk his life to find his fortune. One night, Mr. Hernandez arrived at home with a few people and a gentleman named Corbello. They had drinks in his study and soon dinner was served. During dinner, Mr. Hernandez made the announcement to Conception that she would be married to Mr. Corbello on the next Sunday. Everyone clapped and cheered except Conception, who fought hard not to burst into tears. The wedding was a big festive and social event, and Conception married as it was expected of her. She had broken the promise she had sworn, and inside was devastated. During this time, Ignacio Parra was caught in a gunfight and perished. Augustin used this opportunity to leave the gang with its riches to return to Durango. Upon his return, he bought a mansion and ordered it to be filled with the finest furniture and linens. He then went and bought the finest suits and left to find Conception. During his search, he sadly found out that his mother had died. Being away for so long, he never got the chance to say goodbye. He also learned that Conception still lived in the same house he had grown up in, but on his way to claim her, Augustine came upon the bitter news that she was now married. Hearing this, Augustine was devastated and fell into a deep depression. During the ordeal, he ordered his servants not to bother him and locked himself in his study. Once darkness set, he would put on his finest suit, grab his cane and hat, then set out to walk the city at night, always dressed in black and always looking refined and elegant. During that time, that area of the city was unpopulated, so it was odd to see him walking through there. After some time, people got used to seeing him and started calling him the Lord of the Black Bridge. The years passed and his nightly commutes became regular and at the same time mysterious, as he never talked to anyone. Sometime before the Mexican Revolution, on a foggy morning, there was much alarm in the neighborhood. On the bottom of the bridge, they had found the bodies of Conception, Curbelo, and the Lord of the Black Bridge. It was never known who murdered who. There was much speculation on whether there had been a love triangle and Curbelo had killed everyone, or if Augustine had committed the atrocities and taken his own life. What really occurred will always be a mystery, but what is known is that if you are near the bridge at night, you will hear footsteps or see the desolate apparition of the Lord of the Black Bridge. Thank you for listening to today's story. Please don't forget to share, subscribe, and hit the like button. For notifications of new videos, you can hit the bell icon on the top right corner or subscribe on Twitter or Instagram. If you would like to contribute your own encounter or story, please contact me at the email below. Thank you, and keep an open mind, for there are things out there that are yet to be understood.